Welcome back to Reactioncast. That's all I'm saying. I just wanted to take you on.
All right, then. We're going to be talking about WandaVision. As you heard, I'm here with my brother, Michael.
Hi.
And the way we're going to be running this, like many things we'll be running Reactioncast moving forward, is if it's a movie, it's going to be a straight review. If it's a TV series like WandaVision, we'll be doing our first impressions for the first few episodes and then give you our final thoughts for the entire series or season, depending on.
Oh, so that's how this works.
That's how we're going to be running it.
Okay.
So for the first, we waited, or kind of forgot to do it, but we waited till see the first 3 episodes of WandaVision. I think it was good to wait for the first 3 because Michael,
definitely.
Yeah, Micah kind of felt that the first 2 episodes for WandaVision, and note that we will be talking about spoilers, but so note that that's how we're going to be doing this. So far, in my opinion, I'm actually enjoying it so far. At least for the first 2 episodes. We just finished watching episode 3, and after talking with Michael about it, I think what Disney Plus should have done is release the first 3 episodes. They did do it for like people who do reviews, but we're not that big to get that privilege. But it is one of the things I think they should have done, because the first 2 episodes, like Michael is going to mention in a moment, is there wasn't a lot of plot. There was a lot of fun references, yes, and a lot of payback to old shows. A lot of homage to old shows, like Bewitched, the Dick Van Dyke Show, and things like that for the first 2 episodes. And but like Mikey mentioned, there wasn't a lot for, I think, more modern people to enjoy it.
I wouldn't say modern. I'd say the story in general. Like they're like self-contained stories where it's like those shows, like, what, 10 years ago?
But that's what they were trying to go for. They were trying to go with that weird, kind of old, styly thing. That's why.
Well, yeah.
Because, okay, so let's go with episode 1. Episode 1 was basically introducing us into what WandaVision is at that moment. It was basically them in, I would say, roughly the 50s, doing the traditional trope of...
Black and white. Barely moved in.
Yeah,
didn't know the neighborhood.
Getting to meet the boss, the nosy neighbors, things like that. It's one of those things that when I myself growing up, those were the shows I would watch, and they were fun to do. They were
the misunderstandings that somehow figured this out.
Yeah, it's still a trope these days, but not as much and not in your face anymore sometimes, but it was really big back then. The laugh tracks is pretty good. I enjoy the laugh tracks. I don't like them now. They don't make sense now. If you have to add a laugh track, it's not funny. That's my opinion. But I think it works for this because, like Mikey mentioned, it does pay homage to what they are.
I did enjoy it. It was just a fun episode. I just didn't like that there wasn't like story. Like there was, I think, let's see, episode 1, there was the commercials.
So
there's commercial right now. Each episode shows some reference to I don't know what the sword with this.
Oh, I should have, because like we mentioned, we just barely watched the 3rd episode, and we've been watching other people kind of talk to get an idea a little bit more, because we aren't big like Marvel people. Like we're more
movie Marvel.
We're movie Marvel. Yeah, we're movie Marvel people, but we're not like into the comic to know all the references to everything that's out there. So
we're probably gonna learn what the sword symbol in that circle means when the story continues.
Or we kind of do now, but I just can't remember exactly where it is, and I'm not gonna Google it.
Back to episode 1. So
I
they
know
really got there. They're trying to figure out what like the heart means on their calendar. Near of them know. They start guessing anniversary, birthday, all that. They're like, oh, it's for an anniversary. And then Vision goes to work, and then he finds out it's for a dinner meeting with his boss and his boss's wife. But then Wanda still believes it's an anniversary, so she, with her newfound neighbor friend, it's like, oh, you have to seduce him, wear something sexy, have a dinner. So when he brings his boss and his boss's wife over, she's all ready for this romantic dinner, and he's prepared for this.
It's like I said, it's one of those fun tropes thing that kind of gets out of hand. But then I forgot the name of the actress. She's one of my favorite actresses. The boss's wife. Yeah, the 70s show. I can't remember. Yeah, she's the one that plays in the 70s.
Instantly recognizable.
I can't remember her name, but I loved her role because, like I said, the show is WandaVision to a point where it's something weird's happening no matter what.
So you knew something. It's black and white.
Yeah.
And Vision's back for folks.
Yeah. So that's the weird thing is WandaVision's back. They made interesting references here and there, like Indestructible Head. Yeah.
I did not notice that one.
Oh yeah. That one. The whole the commercial itself is a reference to when they were stuck in when they were kids when her and her brother were they mentioned in Age of Ultron that when bombs were falling on their city.
Oh yeah.
You hear the ticking tick.
Oh, is that what the ticking was? Oh, okay. Yeah. I was wondering what that. I thought it was. And that was most.
No, it's the ticking of the whole thing. Yeah.
So
there's meaning to everything. I'll mention what the next episode is.
When are we going to talk about the theories of what's happening?
Yeah. So
at
and
the end,
we'll try to figure out because let's finish with the first 3 episodes because the second like it gets weird at the end where the
boss starts choking.
Yeah.
And then the boss's wife, Sumi So's actress, basically starts like telling him to stop it, and then like it kind of gets more serious where she's not staring at her husband anymore, but staring at Wanda and telling her to stop it, like just constantly. It's like, okay, maybe Wanda's doing something here.
Or she is, like we at the audience know she is doing something, but now we're getting a little bit more where things are breaking.
Are the citizens more conscious of what's happening, and are they playing along, or are they being forced to play along?
So, and then let's move on then to episode 2 because then that's when you transition.
I did like that. That was.
So episode 2, I like it because this one plays the intro, like all the intros are really fun. This one plays homage to Bewitched, and they're doing. What was this one? They're doing like the community talent show? Yeah, the talent show. It's the talent show episode.
For the kids.
And this one was fun because we get to play a little bit more, learn a little bit more about the community a little bit, more the other people in the city of Westview. Yeah, Westview. Yes. And you start to get, this one you get like the cliche dads getting together and things like that, and all the
was it a neighborhood watch?
The neighborhood watch and stuff like that, and then you get the ladies together to talk about the talent show and kind of little gossip.
You have that the high ranking fucking wife who's like, oh, you have to be friendly with her. You're
gonna fuck up the hood, and like, oh shit. It's a classic trope. That one, I'm trying to remember what the weird thing was.
The radio. Or it was the radio.
The radio, yeah.
It's like, Wanda, why are you doing this?
And then, this is when you start seeing characters kind of break from, quote, reality, or her reality, and you start to see things breaking. This is when you start seeing color.
The plane that also had the sword.
The sword symbol. This is what once we figure out what everything is towards the end, we'll know everything.
Finally.
Yeah, but we start getting the sword symbol. We start getting into color. Things are getting open. This one where the fun tropey stuff is like when something accidentally happens. The talent show. Where Vision accidentally eats gum and he's
drunk.
He's drunk. It's funny. It's played for a lot of fun things like all his magic. Wanda has to kind of use her magic to
make it seem fake.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning it shows like they're gonna do a magic trick. It's like oh, they're gonna know this is fake. It's like, yeah, it's magic. Of course it's fake. Or it's like, it's supposed to be fake. But then when they actually do the talent show, he just starts flying because he can. He just starts doing all these different tricks. Like if he lifts a piano, but then Wanda has to use her actual magic to make it seem like it's fake magic. Like, oh yeah, it's just a rope. Or it's just a picture of piano.
So, yeah, you get all these weird little fun things. To the point where toward the end, you get the guy who comes out of the manhole.
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah,
the bee guy.
The bee guy, and he has like the sword symbol on his back, and she does this. This is where the first time we get that she can reverse quote time.
She can control they control the construction.
Yeah, so it's basically, and she
changed the outcome.
Yeah, she changed the outcome instead of it being some big guy. Nothing else, just weird stuff. And it ends the episode with her being pregnant.
Another thing we missed about episode 1 at the end with episode 1 and 2, it shows it zooms out from a screen
Oh yeah, so
then
then
someone like either turning off or like taking notes or something. And
Yeah.
they literally nothing else other than that. Like, oh, a screen, and then someone sitting there with an arm.
just making notes, and you have the sword symbol and everything.
Yeah.
I think we did forget to mention, because this tells us, the audience, that something's happening,
And they're being watched.
They're being watched, and I think we get now that we're going to get up to 3, we know that yes, the entire city is being watched, because in episode 3 we get the in color thing.
Another thing, at the end of episode 2, they all becomes, and then she also gets pregnant.
Yes.
But again, for the first 2 episodes, I feel like it didn't need to be 2 episodes. That was just waste time. First episode, there's barely any story of the actual events, any plot, which is fine if they were gonna like just do that. And then second episode, they were gonna like, okay, do similar, but then like add a lot of plot, which they didn't add. I felt not enough because it was just kind of like more shocking. They could have made those 2 episodes to 1 episode and added episode 3 as the second episode, which I believe, once we talk about episode 3, would have been the best thing to do for if they released them both at the same time, which they didn't. But they released the first 2 episodes, which they did, because they would have like said like, because now after episode 3, I'm like, yes, I want to see what's happening. Wow, this is going. Which the first 2 episodes, not really.
That's true. Okay, so in my opinion, I think they did the first 2 episodes the way they did is because just to pay tribute to the old show, they had to kind of do it. True, but there's this weird generational gap in there. Even though it's slightly, they just had to do it. I'm guessing whoever was the lead for the team for WandaVision kind of wanted it. It didn't have to be. You're right, but I feel it was worth it for me. I liked it that way. I liked it that way because then getting into episode 3, just like, but like we stated earlier, I think they should have released the first 3 episodes to the public. It would have felt a little bit better having first 3 episodes. Actually, it should have just been all out. But
yeah, that's straight release, because right now it feels like this would have been an amazing binge watch.
Yes.
Where it's like, oh, like just straight through. It's like, because it is like a mystery thing.
Something's happening, and if you're not like heavy Marvel a person, then it's like then you don't really know what's happening, which is fine. Like you just learn as we're learning, because we're using external things like YouTube and people who know a little bit more to learn. So getting into episode 3, this is when we get the in color episode where it gives us the Brady Bunch syndrome.
Oh, yeah,
I like that. It was fun doing the Brady Bunch syndrome. And this is we just watched and I can't remember. The whole pregnancy.
Yeah, she's dealing with her pregnancy.
Yeah, I don't know
which is just like, which is funny because it starts out with like the doctor saying it's like yeah, you're about like 4 months pregnant. And then Vision's like, yeah, but what about hypothetically she's like 12 hours? And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, she's just having these babies.
So in this classic trope, you get them trying to see what the name of the baby is and things like that.
Trying to hide it.
And things like, oh, don't let the neighbors know and things like that. But then we get you're right, this is where we get the more in-depth stuff where her powers are going wild because of her.
I love that. I like they mentioned the hormones and stuff, but like with her, she didn't really have that. Her powers just went chaotic and just started activating and doing random stuff. Bringing butterfly, like a little butterfly. What are those things called?
Right. Basically, her reality warping is acting up now.
Yeah. At
this point, this is the first time we really get reality warping because before she had more like just telekinesis and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, she just said that like what was that what she did when she found out her brother died and like disintegration. Yes. Because I know because I know it's like she's actually one of like the most powerful doing.
So now we're getting to the point where things after she gives birth to twins and things like that, but then we get like neighbors talking in this episode,
which I love. Which like it shows more of like they're either acting
or because
they're conscious of what's happening. Of like you can tell they know they're trapped there.
Or do they? That's the weird thing because one of them does or they don't. But then you have
I'm pretty sure they do. If you're talking about what's her name?
I wish I remember the name.
The friend that showed up to help him. The one who delivered the first baby.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Her, the one that like you find out that she's either part of the society because she had a sword.
She's part of sword. We know she's part of sword. She's part of sword. She's part of sword. I don't remember the name.
I feel like it's gonna be called Blade.
No. Just look it up really quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just find the name of the characters.
Let's look up. Oh, yeah. That's up the V.
Anyways, as you continue to look. But yeah, you get this character. She is part of Sword, and this is kind of what triggers her thing to kind of like kick her out from what Westview is. This is when you know that...
Monica.
Monica, yeah. So Monica, what's the name of Agnes? Annie? No, is it? But I know her character is supposed to be like a reference to Agnes.
It just says noisy neighbor.
Nosy neighbor?
Nosy neighbor.
Okay, well, until...
I love that. That's hilarious.
Okay, so the noisy neighbor and their other neighbor that's to the left of them? Yeah, to the left in the house.
Facing away from the house.
Yeah. No, it's to the left of them because they're driving.
Facing the house is to the right. Facing away from the house is to the left.
Anyways, their neighbor, they're talking. Like you said, it is a point where it seems like either the neighbors do know they're in this weird pocket. You say there. I don't know. I don't think they are. I think one of them does.
No, because noisy neighbor for sure knows. The fucking the black guy. He's in here. What?
I told you that's who I was telling you. I told you that.
Deborah Jo Roop. That's the boss's.
Okay.
Okay, it's not all of them. Okay. Yeah,
Anyways, the neighbor...
yeah, because he was trying to tell him. Why would he try to tell him something he doesn't know?
Exactly.
He knows. And then the other thing is, in the beginning, he was trimming the hedges and then he just started cutting the wall. Which is like...
Stone wall.
The stone wall. Which I don't think that'd be able to.
But no, then you have to look at the background because you
the background looks fake. Like a classic, 60s, 70s? 60s. TV show where it's like, they only have like one set and then like the drawn in
backline and everything, and it's like really funny, but then like it's really weird because it's like I said, it is paying homage to all these shows, but it's just getting weird. And so far some of the theories out there are kind of weird too. We're not 100% in some of them because we don't know some of them.
Let's finish the episode. So
it just kicks Monica
when she finally has the babies. Vision goes out, kicks the doctor out. That's when he has the whole interaction with the neighbors where the guy wants to tell him something. I'm assuming that they're like trapped there because that's how it was implied. But then the noisy neighbor was like, shut up, blah, 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 and then goes back into their characters and like runs back. And then while he's doing that, inside, Monica and Wanda have a moment where she has twins. She mentions Pedro, Quicksilver, and starts singing some lullaby. And then, what I think is happening is Monica was sent there to infiltrate, discuss, see what's happening. But then she started getting affected because she mentioned once Wanda mentioned Pedro, she was like, oh yeah, Ultron killed him, and that just kind of like made Wanda.
So it was triggering her. It was you believe her memories were triggered back to like, oh wait a second, I'm here for a reason.
Yeah, because once like she did that and Wanda like confronted her, as like, what did you say? And she tried to play it off.
She's just trying to hide her feelings, basically.
Yeah.
Wanda is.
I think what I believe. I'll get back to it because we're gonna talk about theories. But then Wanda starts confronting her. It's like, who are you? But then she starts to like struggle where it's like I don't know. Like I think she also got affected by the whole mind.
The pocket. Let's call it the pocket world.
Yeah, the pocket world, where it's like she believes she was actually there and she lived there or she moved there and she has this whole thing. But then she also is remembering her mission. But then eventually she does get kicked out because Wanda's like, you're not here in your fantasy ideal living situation. And they have Vision and her have a little. Well, no. Actually, Vision
is like
confronts her about like what happened with the neighbors and everything that's like all the little stuff that's been conflicting.
And now he's starting to think like, wait a second, something's up. And then where I thought the scene kind of broke and like, wait the fuck, that's something. I thought something happened to the.
Oh yeah. I thought you just rewinded it. I'm like, what'd you do, bro? You missed something? But
no, she did it again. She did the whole.
Rewind thing.
A rewind thing where it
just didn't show it.
It just didn't show it, but I think in this sense they were just playing it like, oh, this is just a cut.
A reset scene?
Yeah, reset scene. Like, oops. Like, yeah. Okay, so I like that. So before we get into our predictions, what are you...
No. We missed when I guess not much.
Because
with the ending scene when she got kicked out, but you just see like there's an actual whole like, what's like compound out there. Some kind of military compound, vehicles, tent.
And the whole city's basically quarantined.
Yeah. Either Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically that. Yeah, the whole
so
city's quarantined.
Those are the 3 episodes. I really like the 3rd episode.
So here
again, I feel like the 3rd episode should have been the 2nd, and they could have fixed they could have fit the first 2 episodes into the 1st episode, and I felt that would have been way better to introduce the show.
Okay, then here we'll do final impressions. So from a scale of 1 through 10, what are your first impressions for the first 3 episodes?
The first 3 episodes, I'm gonna say 7.
A 7.
Like 6.5. So I'm gonna go with 6 because the first 2 episodes for me really bring it down because again
you just felt they didn't
like give enough. They didn't drive the plot enough, and there was just a lot of like again we had a struggle to remember the first 2 episodes. Well, I did where it's like okay this happened, but again it also had a really basic plot like just what the episodes were had a basic plot which is like yeah you could basically like once you remember one part of it you could get the rest of it from it.
Okay, so what is your final?
I'm gonna say 6.
You're gonna for first impressions 6. Going into for the first 3. So my thoughts for the first 3 episodes, my first impression score so far is a solid 7. I enjoyed it mostly for all the tropes and what it is. It could have been better. There are points you did make that it could have done a little more streamline it, but they were really going for some of the classic stuff. And as much as I did enjoy that, I want to know more. And they could have done a little bit more they had. But a solid 7. It could have gripped me more, but I'm enjoying it for what it is. So those are our first impression thoughts. So now we're going to just jump into kind of some of the theories that are out there, some of the things we're thinking. So go ahead, I'll let you go first.
Okay. So I haven't really heard anyone else's theories. So my theory, how I've kind of like been saying throughout where I think Wanda is controlling this town and manipulating it because for some like traumatic reason, because she's traumatized, lost her brother, lost she loved, and just kind of wanted to make a perfect world where she could have a family, white picking. So I don't know how she got to a random town. She got there, made a barrier, and just kind of started manipulating these people. Basically, I feel like at first they didn't know, but I think as the little time that went on, they started to feel like, yeah, this is not correct because I'm pretty sure like they were black and white. Like, that's how they saw it. And then, like, as her, like, either attitude or, I guess, her sense of time, like, things moved on, like, the different, what are they called? Like, genres of...
So, it was, so far, I'm trying to remember. So, the August 22nd, or was it 28th for the meeting with the boss, the dinner with the boss? Was it the 22nd or the 28th? It was 22nd. Because we know from the trailer that we're going to be getting a Halloween episode.
Alright.
Yes. Because you see Wanda and Vision in their original costumes.
Oh.
So we are going to get we're going to get a show that is going to take place of roughly a month that they're in there. So in this world, we're going to get a month of time being spread apart.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but,
because it feels like the first few episodes were like a few days apart. One was
I'm pretty sure they're like one day apart.
We don't. We might have to go back to episode 2 and look at the calendar and see what that says.
I guess so.
But
episode 2 and 3 were
right next to each other.
Apart.
So they're next to each other.
But yeah, no, back to my theory. But again, Wanda's controlling it, and then like I guess either the government Hydra's involved too. This episode 2 commercial showed the Hydra symbol.
I think.
And then episode 3 had the Hydra.
Oh yeah, so that's why I forgot to mention the commercials. I don't think Hydra's behind it. The thing is,
I think she's just since she was involved with Hydra at first, those are just kind of.
So
I think you're right because episode 1 had the clicking.
So episode 2, I forgot to mention this during our talk. So in episode 2, the whole thing to watch was Strucker. Yeah, Strucker. And Strucker, am I getting the name wrong? But he was the guy who gave them their power back in Age of Ultron. Or there was experiment with...
was it Civil War?
That's
where they attacked the facility. Went for the first... No,
it was Age of Ultron, but it was...
was it that guy who was just like, it's like, never surrender. It's like, yeah, we're surrendering.
yeah, basically that guy. Yeah, that's the guy who... It was Strucker. Okay. I might be getting his name wrong, but... People can get in the comments on that one. But everyone knows who I'm talking about.
He's the stroker.
Yeah. Anyways. That's who the watch was under, and that's where the Hydra symbol too.
Yeah, okay.
I think the next one, I was trying to figure out the commercial, because after I knew that, I was trying to figure out what the next commercial was going to be about, and I was trying to figure out, but all they did was mention Hydra.
Yeah, Hydra. So
and I think that was obvious.
I did not notice the stroker.
Yeah, okay. That I barely noticed it, but but I didn't really connect it once because I didn't know what the first one was until someone mentioned that, because it said
Stark. I never had something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Stark,
and then the ticking. Like makes more sense once.
I didn't notice ticking at all. I thought it was like Morse code or something. So instead of communicate them like in episode 2 with the whole very obvious radio. Did we talk about what the radio said?
It's like, is that you, Anna? Who put you there? So that makes me wonder.
No, I thought if I remember, it said like, "Why are you doing this?"
No, I thought it like, who put you there? Who put you there? I thought it said, "Who put you there? Who did this to you?" Google it really quick.
What it said? What episode?
Yeah, because so here's some of the theories that I've been hearing around is that so they're not like it's never going to be 100% to what the comic book, but some people are saying that this is how they're going to introduce kind of like Mephisto, which is like the Lucifer. The Marvel universe.
Lucifer in the Marvel universe. Yeah, I know that.
But there's like he's like the devil basically, and there's a storyline where they say that he gets Mephisto gets
That's
like
radio,
anyways, Mephisto got destroyed and his essence got split into 5 different pieces, and 2 of those pieces turned out to be part of his kids. And something's happened.
Tommy and Billy.
Yeah, I don't know what the names are in comic, but. At least for the show, they are Tommy and Billy. And a lot of people are saying that's kind of how they're going, because that's kind of how they're going to be doing Doctor Strange, because there's a lot of things we still don't know, because it's...
Well, you kind of threw my...
So what was your thoughts?
She was just controlling it, and they're either... I feel like there was multiple organizations trying to either capture her, or to basically do something about that situation with the town, which is, I would believe... Did Hydra get destroyed?
Yes, Hydra. There's remnant.
You mean the sword, the blade? I'm gonna call him a blade. I think a blade.
No. Double check what sword means. It's like something human weapon. Like it means like it's literally kind of like it's basically the Avengers of Powers or something. I forget.
Oh wait! The Avengers of the fucking universe area.
Yeah, that's what it stands for. But what is it like actually? What's the anagram?
Symbol.
Yeah, what's the anagram stand for?
Go on. So we're at the end of the 3rd episode. Next, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, it is a door. Sentient World Observation Response Department.
Yes. So that's what it stands for. So I'm guessing they're just...
So it's actually his sword. Damn, I thought it was going to be like blade or something.
No, it's sword. It's called sword. Yeah, everyone loves their anagram. Their sword and then their shield.
God
but that's kind of the idea. I don't know what they're gonna do, because like I like how everyone's ideas, but there's still so much that we don't know because they fit 2 bullshit episodes, the first 2 episodes. Well, then we gotta wait. Okay, so there's gonna be a total of 8 episodes,
and they wasted 2 episodes.
That was fine. I liked the first episodes,
not for plot or story reason,
but that just gives you that there's something weird happening.
They could have done that with 1 episode.
True, but they just were trying to pay homage to everything. To literally this,
what does that have to do with Marvel? At all.
Then tell the person who's in charge of the WandaVision production. You can blame that person.
I'm blaming that person.
I think their name was something Alonso. Yeah. Did you not see the executive producer?
I never look at it. So.
I tried to.
And I'm terrible with names. I can't remember anyone's name.
I didn't know it because it ends with one of our cousins.
Okay.
But anyways, that's kind of our thoughts so far. So normally we would do a mid-season thing, but there's only 8 episodes. And... Okay. I think it's fine that we just wait 5 more episodes and see.
You just do a final.
And our final one. If there were like 12 episodes, I would have been fine doing like...
You think you're going to do a cartoon episode?
No, I don't think so.
How long do you think they're going to continue this whole like TV show?
Just the Marvel TV shows?
No, not Marvel. Like the black and white, like the 60s, 70s, 80s. Like how many episodes do you think they're going to go until they're like, okay, no, this is the show now.
It's probably till episode 5 or 6.
They better do like a Full House. That'd be awesome.
I think they're going to do 90s things for sure. They're probably going to do that. They're probably not, so this was kind of their 60s show. They're probably going to do a...
What's 70? 70 show?
No, that's more of like trying to think of 70 shows. You know what's fun? I've seen these shows and I can't think about any of them from the 70s. What do you get?
All in the Family, MASH, Happy Day is gonna be happy. It's gonna be Happy Days.
Do you think
it's gonna be Happy Days?
You're gonna go with Happy Days? Okay. I'll be happy with
that. Oh, Brady Bunch was no 70s.
Then what is this?
Oh, that's 69.
Maybe. Then it can maybe.
Let's see. Jeffersons.
Oh, the Jeffersons. That's what I was thinking in my head, but I can.
Sanford and Son.
So yeah, I think we're gonna get another. Or I think we're still gonna get a 70s one. If not, this could have been the 71, but I don't know.
Different strokes.
Maybe. So it depends. Either we're gonna get another. If we're gonna get I think we're still gonna get a 71s.
It's gonna be Happy Days. 90. If they do a 70s, it's gonna be Happy Days. They're gonna reference Happy Days. So that's gonna be.
So we're still gonna get. So this episode 3.
I think
we're gonna get two more episodes. 2.
Yeah, I think
minimum 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Minimum 2 episodes. Maybe a third, but then it's gonna get crazy.
That's when they're gonna stop doing the TV referencing
because the last 2 episodes have to be kind of the conclusion for WandaVision, because episode 7 and 8 is basically the end, and they're not long episodes. They're
22. They're 22 minutes. They're a classic TV show.
Yeah, they're like 20 minutes long. Yeah, they're 20 minutes long.
Even if they had a commercial, it'd be 30 minutes.
Yeah, and with a commercial. No, it even has a.
It does have a fucking commercial for imaginary bullshit.
So yeah.
Wait, so do you think she's trapped in there, or she's being forced there, or is she like willingly complying?
I think what happened was once everything happened with Endgame and things like that, is that everyone kind of settled away, and that's where she was living. But then something triggered her. I hope they kind of explain something like that, like why is she in Westview, like how'd she get there and things like that, and then something, whatever happened, triggered her. Like maybe she saw a neighbor with her husband or something like that.
Something simple like that. Oh no, she saw a couple.
Here's the thing. I kind of want to see what the neighbors look like normally.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
Because the neighbors are still referencing the time periods from the shows, so I kind of want to see what they are normally.
That was funny. Episode 3, the doctor was like super sexist.
Yeah, well, that's how they kind of reacted back then. But yeah, those are kind of our predictions.
Well, if they did that, then that would have been a lot more racist.
I know. But yeah, those are. Do you have any final other thoughts into it?
Thanks to episode 3, I want to know what's going to happen. The mystery. I have heard that like a lot of people don't like it, but yeah, I just didn't like the first 2 episodes.
I think a lot of people are the same as you. They just didn't like the first 2 episodes, and like I think that's what it is. It should have done the first 3 episodes. It would have been fun,
or just drop the whole thing. It's like let people do it.
That too. Like oh my god, we would have binged the first day. We would have
just completed it. It's like hey, full season review right here. Spoilers.
But they need their monies. Disney Plus needs monies.
Yeah, they need their subscription because Mandalorian is.
So look forward to more WandaVision, or one more WandaVision.
In like a month and a half ish.
We're episode 3, 4, 5, 7,
month
8.
And a half.
Probably end of February. Yeah. But there are probably other TV shows we're going to be talking about, and look forward to that because Netflix is doing a movie every month, or a movie TV show.
Netflix original, or are they just for like?
I don't know. I think I think a couple of them are going to be Netflix original. We'll look at that. There's going to be a list coming out, but look forward to that. We'll have more news on our social medias and stuff like that. So look forward to that. You don't have to be in all of them if you don't want.
I have nothing else to do.
All right then. So thank you again for listening, Mikey. Thank you for joining me.
No problem.
All right then. Look forward to our thoughts, and if something else pops up, we'll be here for you. Until next time.